What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to GHET-TO Sports, Sports Talk with Street Flavor. Yeah, I know. Get my little business type going on. No gear today, but it is NFL trade deadline Tuesday, and I made my picks before these trades, and some of my picks that's got blown up. I'm sticking with my picks. Okay, so what happened in the NFL? Who got traded? Who didn't do anything? Who stayed back? The Jets were selling people like they was going out of style. They was going out of business. Okay? They just gave the two guys they traded, they just gave them contracts. One over the summer and one the year before that. Okay? Sauce Gardner for the Jets is now gone. He is a Colt now. Okay? They get two first-round picks back for Sauce Gardner and a player. Was that worth it? Was that worth it? Now, the Jets get a bunch of first-round picks over the next 2 years. They have about 6 or 7 first-round picks. What would they do for that? Then they go trade Williams to Dallas. Of all teams, Dallas. Traded Williams to Dallas. Break up him and his brother. Okay? What will his mother do now? Now she got to go to 2 games. Okay? Instead of just 1. Now he's a Dallas Cowboy. I don't think either way he was making the playoffs this year. I don't think the Cowboys are making the playoffs. And I don't think, we knew the Jets wasn't going to make the playoffs. So, but Williams is a Cowboy now. Okay? Then the Cowboys did some more trades. Got another defensive guy from the Bengals. But damn, the Bengals. You saw what they did the last 2 games? They gave up points to the Jets and to the Bears and lost. So, was that a good? Are these good trades? You're picking up players from teams that in the basement. We don't know. We don't know. So let's see what happens. I told you the Saints was going to give somebody up. They gave up one of their wide receivers. Okay, he went to Seattle. Now Seattle got threats all around. You saw what they did Sunday night to the Commanders. Now you just gave him another weapon? What the hell? My God. Then you had trades here and there. It seems like the Ravens traded people and gained people, but they were just moving parts. Was this work out? Same thing with the 49ers and the Pats. They traded parts. But is it the same people they trading back and forth? Are these people going to make a difference? Or was this for salary cap reasons? We don't know. We must see what is going on here. What do you think is happening in the NFL? Did your team make a difference? Now, with Sauce, it's the Colts. After they lost on Sunday to Pittsburgh, is Sauce something that can revive them, get them back into shape? Because they got a couple of wide receivers coming up that he has to guard against. Starting this Sunday in England. No, England. They're in Germany. Against the Falcons. He probably had to guard London. What would happen? He has to guard London. Let's see what's happening with the Colts going forward. Okay? Seattle going forward. Will these teams make that playoff push that we see with these big transactions they just made this Thursday? What would happen? And the Cowboys, with these moves they made, it's not for this year. It's for next. Okay? Can they bounce back after losing Micah, not gaining some defensive players, will that change them at the end? That's the question. Everybody thought Nick Chubb was going to get traded from Miami. He didn't. Priest Hall from the Jets, another fire sale. He did. The Giants. Everybody said they might trade their players. They did. I told you, they did. They was a bunch of asses, but they didn't do it. They listened to Manny for a change. Okay? Scratching my head. They listened to Manny for a change. So, who do you like? Now, let's get to my picks. Okay. I had Pittsburgh, okay, this week. I have the Bears, and they're playing the Giants. Usually I go with my heart. People. But my heart been broken. I still bleed blue, but my heart been broken. So, I'm going with the Bears. That's hard for me to say, a New Yorker going for Chicago. That hurts in a lot of ways. You just don't know. Okay, pick Green Bay. They need to bounce back. They play the Eagles on Monday night. They need to bounce back. I am so sorry. Now, before all this trading went down, I had the Jets against the Browns. I had the Jets over the Browns. And I'm still picking the Jets. The hell with the Browns. Okay, the Rams. Got the Rams going on. I have the Lions. They need to step up. They lost 2 in a row. They need to step up. Okay, they got smacked around on their home turf. They need to step up. Lions, you need to step up. I'm sorry. Seattle. I got Seattle rolling. Now it's looking like we might get 3 teams coming out of the West, with the Rams, the Seattle, and maybe the 49ers. Leaving just 1 team coming out of the East, maybe 2 teams coming out of the Central, 1 team coming out of the South. Ooh, now 1 team out of the South might be the Buccaneers. I picked the Buccaneers this week too. Okay. All right. The Vikings, I think they'll bounce back. Okay. Carolina, they surprised us last week and won in Green Bay. So we're going with them again. We're going to roll with them one more time. We're going to roll with Carolina at home. Okay. I think they can do it at home. Okay. We got the Bills, after they took down Kansas City, winning again this weekend. Okay, Jaguars made a trade for a receiver, but remember they lost Hunter at practice. They put him on IR. That means he's at least going 4 games and maybe even longer. So I picked the Jaguars, and they're going to challenge the Colts for that division. But I pick the Colts against the Falcons. Okay, I'm sorry, Carlos and friends. I picked the Colts over the Falcons overseas. And don't like taking this team. I used to love this team, when Peyton was there and things like that. But the Broncos, there's something about their head coach that's pisses me off a little bit. I don't know what about him, but he just gets on my goddamn nerves, So I'm going with the Broncos this weekend, okay? Going with, like I said, I took the Steelers, took the Bears over my Giants. Green Bay, the Jets before the trade, the Rams, the Lions, the Seattle. Seattle showed me something this past Sunday night. They came out there, they was hot, they was smoking. I picked the Bucks. I picked the Vikings. I picked Carolina again. I've been picking Carolina here and there, so I will see what happens. I picked the Bills. It's hard to go against the Bills. Corvette, you got that. The Jaguars, they're going to try and challenge the Colts, so they got to stay in the picture. So I picked the Jaguars, and I picked the Colts. And like I said, I picked the Broncos. So we'll see what happens. This might be my first and only time going against my boys. I don't do that for a living. So it really hurts. So let's see what happens going forward. Okay? This has been GHET-TO Sports. I didn't go with my heart because my heart's been broken. I went with my head.